Hello guys, so today I'm going to talk to you about what to do with the cards you get before you open your inventory to the nice 500 slots you can get. So in my case, I've already maxed out the amount of slots. That's one of the very first things I did because I love to grind. But for some of you who don't, or some of you who just want to know what to do with cards, I'm going to start by talking about the special player cards because that's what a lot of people are interested in. And then I'm just going to finish about talking with regular players. So in special player cards, the first thing you're going to care about is called elementals. So if you see right here, these are the free kind of elementals. They have different stars. So there are free matches you can do to get them. Each one is harder than the other. And the thing is that the reason why the elemental match gets hard compared to a lot of matches is because of an amount of reflex. So there's actually two ways to win an elemental match. The first one is to use your current team. And for a lot of new players, they're going to be very limited by this, and you're going to try to run the lowest one. So if they do this, the chances of them getting a 3-star are very high. A 4-star, I'm going to say 15%. A 5-star, like a 5%. And I'm being generous when I say this. Then on the second match, it's going to be more generous on the 4-star. And 5, it's going to keep being like this. So a lot of people are going to end up having too many 3-stars, a few 4-stars, and no 5-stars. So one of the things you can do is you can evolve them, but it does cost a lot of money. So a tip I'm going to give you is get some friends with some insanely fast players who have reflex. For example, borrowing someone's Duke will instantly allow you to win. You need to do this manually, but all you got to do is take the Duke, put him center mid. If they try to penetrate, he leaves with the ball. If he has the ball, they'll try to penetrate him and he leaves with the ball in front anyway, and he shoots and you win. So this will allow you directly to the hardest level and increase your chances of 5-stars. So again, this is more limited as you'll need friends and there's a limit to the amount of times you can use a friend ace. But by doing this, you will be able to get the higher chairs. Now, at the beginning of the game, you might not even find good friends. So at the very beginning, upgrading 4-stars to 5-stars is interesting. Endgame wise, if it's not used in the formula, trash it. So again, beginning, you're going to want to do this. Endgame, you don't care. And it's going to be very similar for something we call the swirlies. So again, I personally don't care so much about selling in gold because I can make it other ways. But when you're going to do the weekend match, you're going to get swirlies. So again, 3, 4, 5-star. The thing with swirlies is that if you use them on the element of your player, the bonus is going to be a bigger percent. So what a swirly does is it gives you a chance to have a bonus point on your player from 1 to 3. The max is 160. It's very nice to 160 them. It makes them very powerful. So normally a 3-star is 10, a 4-star is 30, a 5-star is I think a 70 or a 60, something high. And if you do it in the correct element, who's actually what I do, this is a 12, this is a 30, and this is going to be 100%. So if you throw a 5-star on the perfect element, it's 100%. But again, you will need 5-stars to do extreme evolutions. So at the very beginning, evolving 4-stars to 5-stars is interesting. Endgame, you're not going to care about this because everyone's EE. A lot of players have said that they get rid of their 3-stars. I personally do not agree with this statement. I keep my 3-stars, but I use them on some players that are considered valuable that are level 1. So it doesn't cost me anything. And later on, when I decide that I want to do Colosseum of Trial, I can take out a great player who has already a lot of bonuses and who I haven't even started leveling. So this is one of the reasons why I don't get rid of the 3-stars. If you just don't care about this, don't waste your time. Sell the 3-stars. Just care about the 4 and the 5, but you'll get much less points on a total average at the end of the day. But it'll give you much more gold, because using swirlies costs a fortune. I just want to point that one out. So now we talked about the two most common things you're going to be getting. We're going to talk about the penguins. So again, there is something called the penguin match. It's gonna last for an hour. You will normally get between 3, 4, and 5-star penguins. I would just say trash the 3 stars. Whatever your level is, just trash them. It's not worth it. Now, 4 stars and 5 stars are interesting. 4 stars in my eyes. If you got some extra 4 stars elementals, you can use them. If not, you can sell them. Again, it's not really that valuable, the 3 stars and 4 stars, because the XP increase is not that great. They're used for XP as training material, just in case that wasn't clear to people. Then you have the 5 and the 6 star. So the 6 star, you cannot get it from the regular match, but you can get it from the achievements. So you have a pretty decent chance to fall on it for the achievements. And there's a bunch of special matches, and there's a few other ways to get them using crystals and stuff, but you're mainly going to be getting them from achievements, so pretty rare. But they're very nice. And the 5 star. So I would say on average, the goal is to have the right element of a player and to sacrifice directly 8 5-star penguins to it. And always look at the max level, because sometimes you're giving it more XP than it needs to be maxed out. So basically, keep 5, 6 stars. The rest is completely sellable. If your players are very low level, like under 10, you can use them, but if not, I would completely say sell it. Now, I'm gonna talk about these 2 guys. Again, these are used for evolution. So here we have the Rainbow Elemental. It's going to be used by the majority of players. It can be obtained once a week through a special match. It has a special ability that you can use, who is complete trash. You can disassemble a player and use that has been super evolved. It basically means that if you special train the player, it's going to remove every special train and make a copy. Those copies are going to be level 1 non-evolved, because that could be kind of cheated if you were trying to pull something off. And the idea behind this is when you use a player, you really want to get rid of it. BB didn't do a recall. You can do this to take out a soup and just try to use that 5 star as a material. So that's kind of the idea behind the Rainbow Elemental. But I would say just use them for evolutions. You're gonna need 2 of them. That means 2 weeks to get an extreme evolution. You're gonna care more about just getting that than actually playing with the idea of sacrificing 5 stars, who in my eyes, you should never do unless you're really stuck. Then we have the Black Hole Swirly. It's the same idea in the concept that it's to evolve, but a Black Hole Swirly is very rarely used. It's very common in dark players, but except for that, you will 99% of the time see the Rainbow Elemental. So you don't need to be as rigid on the fact of just storing them and waiting to evolve. You can, if you have at least 4 in stock, you can sacrifice the 5th, as it gives some bonus points to a single stat with a 100% chance. Again, you don't want to use them until your team is complete or until you're sure you're not going to need them. Because again, they take 1 week to get and you need 2 of them. So 2 weeks to evolve a player is pretty lengthy when you think about it. Now, let's go back up to the Gatekeepers. You're going to be getting this a lot from the season achievements. There's a low chance to get 3 stars from Friendship Draw, and when I say low, I'm not joking. The Neris is the most scoutable card in the game, and you should also always scout it. You should scout a Beelzebub, you should scout a Neris at the beginning of the game. Yeah, I would never scout this, and this is something that if you have to sell a card to get it, you do it. Leaders allowed to special train legendaries. So, not special train, I mean soup legendaries. So you want them, whatever happens. You are getting this one. This is the one and only player you care about. Well, the other ones are great, but this is the one. Then, when you looked at the evolved Gatekeepers, I'm not exactly sure where it is in this page, but there's a Neris 6-star. I'm not seeing it. So basically, Nerises, you're going to buy them for 15 GP, you're going to evolve them a first time, you're going to evolve them a second time, and the last version can be sold for 500,000 gold. I'm not joking, it's really 500,000. And if you use a manager with a bonus for selling gold, it can be extremely interesting, especially at the beginning of the game when you're kind of poor. It does cost around 96,000 to evolve them from 3 to 5, and I think 128 from 5 to 6, but at the end you still make a decent profit. So use them. Beelzebubs will give you bonus stats. 3-star and 5-star both have a 100% chance, but the 3-star is going to give you 5 bonus points. The 5-star is going to give you 7. So if you do the math, the 5-star is better. I just want to point out the 5-star gives to all stats and the 3-star only to one stat. It is a bit more expensive. I think you gain 3 or 4 extra bonus points, and it'll cost a bit less when you sacrifice them to the player. For 3 bonus points, just evolve it. You can even keep them, it takes less room. Mera, well, we call it how we really want. It's for special training. So the first one is for 3 stars or below. Let's be honest, no one ever cared about that. And if you sacrifice them and evolve them, they're gonna give an evolved version who can be 5-star. So that is the thing you care about. Being able to use them for 5-star is something you're gonna need later on when you want to turn all your cards 6 stars. So Kuma is something you're gonna be getting randomly, achievement-wise and everything. They're barely useful in my eyes. They give a lot of XP, but it's not really worth investing in scouting them or anything. What you're really going to want to do is try to keep one 5-star. And the day that you decide to special train one of your 5-star and he goes to 6-star, his level is reset to level 1. And if you're using this in your team, it's very frustrating. If he's a key player, for example, your striker is level 1, he just became useless. So you're going to keep that, and when that happens, you're going to throw the Kuma at it. And directly, he should go up to level 50-ish. If he's Thunder, I'm pretty sure he goes up to 55. And if you use 2 of them on a non-Thunder, they should normally go directly to level 60. So it's pretty interesting on that aspect. But again, how many times are you going to max out a player? Best chance is 11. Now we have the leader. As I said, this can be used as a training material to power up players. So again, this is something you will always want because powering up a player gives them an extra skill point and it's going to give them a bonus on basically every stat they own. And this is up to 3-star. As the Mera, the same problem. You need to evolve them for him to have any value. Unless at the beginning of the game you're using Noah, this is the only way to give her bonuses. So it is an option. At the very beginning, you could sacrifice a bunch of 3-stars on her. I mean, one 5-star is the equivalent of maxing her. It's not that bad. But unless you're using her in your beginning, it's not worth it. You have event characters, but that's a more specific thing. And you have special managers that you're only going to be able to get through purchase events. So I'm not going to waste time on this. This is something much more advanced, and whenever you get any of these cards, you're never going to sell any of them. Now, I'm just going to point out for cards, there are different types. And what I mean by that is there are regular cards. There's the 2 and 3-star. Those are the ones you're always going to want to sell. Here, this is an example of a random 3-star. What you're going to want to do then is when you have a 4-star, you're going to want to keep them level 1 up to 40 and then special train it to 5. Like this, with all the 5s you're going to get, you're going to be able to special train your regular players to 6-star. So keeping 4 stars is important. You just sell all the 3 and 2 stars, they're not worth it. Now there's one exception to this rule is special players. So for example, this is a special player. What I mean by a special player is that it's an actual character, and in this case it has the little S. So it means it can be used as a training material anyway, and you're not going to get GP from selling it. And this can only be obtained during a short period. So for chains, it's extremely important you keep this player. always lock it, and if possible, try to get dupes from it because you're going to be able to get a lot of dupes during its event. But never try to sell it. Always keep them, even if they're weak, even if they're useless. There's some of them, they're just pathetic, but we just keep them. And there are 4-star special players, and there are 5-star special players. The higher the star, usually the better the card, but there sadly is always an exception to every rule. So don't feel bad if your card does not actually work out in the end. I'm going to give a random example of a special card. One who is pretty nice because she has an extreme evolution is Black Daisy. She is the card that we are currently in an event with. So just to point out, you can get those cards, as I said, from events. If you look at the schedule, you can get this special character from the Warrior's Glory Ultimate. But if you're not interested in that and you just want the 5-star, there's very often for weaker players who can't do the boss match, you can spend points. Yes, I know we are the 3rd day of the event and I already have enough to purchase one. And as I said, I was gonna max her, so this is gonna happen and I just got her. So like I was saying, these are players you want to get. Some are nice, it depends on your team. I run Dark Light, so I actually care about this. Then you go back to your players. She is a dark player, and then you lock it. Always lock the special players. And sadly, I cannot evolve her. Well, eventually I'm going to grind enough to have the missing card. But that's the idea. So I hope this has helped you understand exactly what to do when you get some cards. Maybe one last pointer, but I think it's fairly obvious. At every period, there's going to be a minion match. Just follow what the minion says when you look at story. Some give gold, some give GP, some give XP. So if it's XP, use them for training. If they give you a percent of a point for bonus players, do that and just use them as they were intended to be used. And what's nice is when they give a bit of GP, for example, this one does. So you can just like start selling them one by one. And it's not a big deal. I'm just going to keep a few because I want to evolve her. But that's the main idea. And then you just sell them. So I hope this has helped a lot of players understand what to do with cards. Because a lot of times I've seen people ask, well, I got this new card. Do I sell it? Do I keep it? I have no room. So I hope this helped. Have a good afternoon.